music, entertainment, black culture. We're listening to.
And I'm counting every one of y'all until I get to a million.
People understand that people have personal boundaries and shit.
Yeah.
So you just people respect people's space, but it's definitely a lot of room for rumors to spread fast. I'll definitely say that. You got a major point.
Super tough.
But I just got the recording started, so let's hit it with the intro. What's good, everybody? I'm Trey,
It's your boy Million.
and you have now tuned into listening to Millions.
This is deeper than a podcast, y'all. Come sit down with us.
And today we have a very, very, very special guest, Julian Levy. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Of course not, man. First off, I just want to say what's good, y'all boys. Trey and Million. Appreciate y'all
Yo.
having me on the show.
No problem.
So yeah, my name's Julian Levy. I go by Julian. I'm a rapper. I'm from Coral Springs, Florida, which, if you're not familiar with the area, that's South Florida, Broward County.
Yes, sir. All right. So before we get started, like with topics and shit, let me tell y'all how we met Julian. So when me and Mill first started recording, like anything listening to Millions related, we started doing TikToks, and we just react to different things like funny TikToks, music, especially controversial things like people talking about race and stuff like that. And I just so happened to scroll past one of Julian's video. We're gonna insert it in the post production. And Julian was spitting bars over this. Was it a beat by Jay Black?
Yeah, Jay Black.
It was a beat by Jay Black, and he was talking about like marriage and love and stuff. And he had like some clever ass punchlines, double entendres. Like I was like, bro, this dude is dope. And even if y'all want to see that TikTok, it's still on our page, pinned to this day. Like that song was so dope. And then he reached out to us and he was like, yo, like I'm trying to come on the pod. I see y'all boys growing. Like, let me come on. And we had a couple struggles trying to get him on the first time, but we found a way to make this virtual stuff work. And he here.
One of his best bars was like, even though I may be a little bit trashy, I'm still not disposable or something like that.
Yeah,
That shit was hard, bro.
My
That
boy
shit was
was
hard. And that shit touched the core with me because I was like, bro, like everybody acts trashy, but like that doesn't mean you gotta throw them away as soon as you,
yeah, like
they start
everybody
putting that
does some
out there.
trash shit.
Right. That's facts. Nah, that's love y'all boys for real, man. Like I said, I told y'all from jump when y'all reacted to that video, like it meant the world to me. Cause obviously, like when you start doing shit, whether it's music, you start up a podcast, like y'all boys are doing, like obviously your homies are gonna support you most of the time. But sometimes that love you get, cause I had never met these boys at all. Like I had no clue who Trey or Millions were. And sometimes that love from strangers is different, So
Yeah,
that shit, like I go through such a fight with myself. I'm like, yo, like, should I pursue this shit? Should I not? Is it a waste of time? But like shit like that is like where I'm like, all right, yeah, like I need a lock in type of thing. So like I say, y'all boys, that was honestly a huge moment for me for real.
Yeah, bro. And honestly, we kept it real with you too, because like we reacted to like this one white boy that was speed rapping and shit. We let him know, like, we ain't really
that was
fuck with
trash. And we wasn't trash. It was a typical white boy rap. That's what I like to call
it.
it. Typical white boy
Typical
rap.
white boys just speed rapping.
Right. Exactly.
And
And that's the thing I like about TikTok too, honestly, is like if your shit isn't fire, people will let you know. Like people don't really give a fuck on TikTok. Like they'll say whatever. So like I said, the fact y'all boys was showing love, I was like, damn, all right, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
had to, bro. Had to.
All right. So speaking of TikTok, like we took a look. You don't have a lot of music out on like Apple Music, Spotify, the typical releasing platforms. You have 2 songs out on SoundCloud, but a majority of the stuff you just do like duets to beats on TikTok. Is that like your marketing strategy? Like what do you plan on building through TikTok and then going out and recording more studio tracks, or is it just one of those things, I got access to it, I'm gonna use it till I can get to the next stage?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So that's where I'm at right now, but that's not how it started. Cause I would say I've been writing for a while. Like I'd say like in high school, I would write from time to time, more so as just like a way to express myself, like a therapy type of thing. And I love music, so I would just write poems and stuff. It started off as just like poems. Then I would like hear certain beats and I would write to them. I'd be like, fuck it, I write to them. But I would never show anyone. And I'd say once I got to college was when like I wrote my first verse to a beat because I had made a few videos on Twitter. I did a few challenges on Twitter, and this one boy reached out to me. His name's Parker, random ass kid. I think he said he went to UF. So he reached out to me. He sent me a beat pack, bro, and I wrote my first verse to my first beat. It's a song. I'm gonna call it "Tired." And yeah, from there it was just kind of like me building confidence to like let people know I rap. And yeah, from there I got a homeboy Jason who makes beats. My homeboy Taylor makes beats. So it was just like building blocks for me, honestly, as far as getting up the confidence to actually start rapping for real.
So when you say that, like were you not sure of yourself, like as in talent wise? Let me look at the camera. So were you not sure of yourself as in talent wise, or was it more of those things where you knew you had the talent, but you didn't know if people would receive the music well?
A little bit of both, man. Honestly, like at first, because I'm not a naturally like confident dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm very more
Yeah.
so like I overthink things for the most part. Like, not that I wouldn't say I'm insecure, but I'm definitely not confident, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
No, that
So
definitely makes sense.
yeah, so I would say at first it was just kind of like a thing where I knew I was decent, but I didn't think I was really like that. But like I said, over time, it was just like it started out. I was hearing people in my area, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like some of them sound good, but like I said, like I take pride in my pen, and I was like, yo, like nobody's lyrics are really fucking with mine. You know what I'm saying? So over time, it's kind of like I realized that, honestly, because like I said, like I still to this day, it feels weird calling myself a rapper, but it's like I realize it every like couple days or every few weeks. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you have something that I want to talk about. Like you just said something that I want to talk about. But before we talk about that, you said something that struck me, like confidence. I think that confidence is very relative. Just to speak on that. So like, let's say you can be confident in certain areas and still not have like confidence all the way around. Like, let's say you may be confident when you're sitting in front of that screen rapping, but when it's time to go up and approach somebody about a business opportunity, you might be a little bit lackluster. I think confidence has a lot to do with being able to be comfortable. And like you have to be comfortable in different situations in order to have that confidence everywhere. Do you think, like, do you think that when you're writing or when you're rapping, that's like a comfort zone for you?
That's a great question, honestly. Uh, Honestly, dog, it may sound crazy, but I would say when I'm writing, no. Like, cause most times I'm writing, everything I write is either like autobiographical, like it's stuff that's happened to me, or at the very most, it's stuff that I've been told, like stories I've been told. So I kind of retell them for my friends, type of thing, if that makes sense. So when I write, it's not like I'm writing like, oh yeah, like this is fire for the most part, at least. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like a few of my TikTok videos, I'm kind of just like rapping about rapping type of thing. So those sometimes I'll be like, yeah, this is fire, this is fire. But for the most part, when I'm writing, it's really just to release. And then from there, like I'll finish and I'll run it back. And yeah, if I think it's fire, it'll stick. But if not, like I have so many verses that I've just scrapped because I'm like, it did what it needed to do in terms of like me releasing this emotion or this feeling, and I just felt like it wasn't like structurally good. So I'll just like whatever, I'll scrap it, or I'll just leave them in my notes app. Honestly,
Yeah.
So that's like kind of so you're more like an overthinker when you write your music.
for
That
sure.
okay, okay.
Well, most of the time, cause bro, like for example, the verse y'all reacted to, bro, I wrote that, no exaggeration, in like 10 minutes, bro. Like,
For real?
no, I swear to you, that was one of those things. Like, I heard the beat, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And the first line, see, the way I write is like very like I feel like it's unorthodox. So when I'm going throughout my days, I'll just think of random bars and I'll write them in my notes app. So that verse, for example, I had the first bar. It was, just because I'm sociable don't mean that I'm approachable. I had
Yeah.
that in my notes app for probably like 3 months before I wrote that verse. I heard the beat and that was the first bar I thought of. So I went back to that note and I just wrote the rest of it in like 10 minutes, bro. It just like flowed out. So something like that, I really wasn't thinking about it. It just like bar by bar, it just came out. You know what I'm saying? But then I've had the opposite where I've had a bar, I think of the first bar, and I didn't finish it till over a year later. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it just depends. Yeah.
See, I was just talking to Trey about it. Like, honestly, I see like music right now as like a renaissance, and I see like artists as like modern day philosophers. You like, especially that rhyme that you had did on TikTok that we reacted to. Like, you was spreading your philosophy throughout your whole entire music, and I was like, damn, that's so cool. Like, I never really thought about music like that.
Right. Nah, 100%. Like I said, everything I write is like my own experiences, my own feelings for sure. 100%.
Exactly, putting it into a pen.
Um, you guys remember when we tried to have our first conversation, right? And I absolutely shit the bucket. Word to Coach 30. Like, I absolutely shit the bucket on trying to get the audio together. We were speaking a lot about like therapy and how important it is, especially as black men, to find the comfort to step out and like go to therapy. So my question to you is like, I'm not trying to like relive that moment. That was a good moment. We shit the bucket. But do you find like therapy, because you said you write very biographical. Somebody gonna drill me in the comments is whatever. But like, do you think do you think like you use writing as a form of therapy?
Oh, for sure, 100%. Like I said, that's kind of like where the roots of it were. When I was in high school, it'd just be like, I'm feeling this way about this girl, or this is going on at home. So I would just like write poems about it. And yeah, still to this day, like if something's really on my head or on my heart, like I'll just write. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that dang, what am I trying to ask? Do you think that you're like when you're rapping, do you like target somebody? Like, are you talking to somebody? Like, do you know who you're talking to, or is it just like, man, I feel this, so it is
Nah.
what it is. If nobody feels it, then it's me. That's all I care about.
Oh, so like in terms of an audience?
Yeah, in terms of an audience, like when you're rapping, do you
Oh,
think about how people will perceive it?
I'd say I started thinking about it since I got on TikTok, obviously, because that's more of like a platform where it's like, all right, obviously, like most of this is kind of for attention to build a platform. Um, but that's the thing where like, because the one thing about me, I would never release something that I don't think is good. And I feel like my taste in music and especially my taste in lyrics, I feel like is decent.
Yeah,
So it's kind of that integrity thing. Like I would never release no shit that I didn't think was like pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? So I would
yeah,
say first and foremost, I kind of make it for myself, not just as expression, but also something that I think is good. And then from there, in a general sense, I mean, obviously, I don't think my shit is like poppy. Like I don't think my shit would ever get like played in the club. I don't necessarily think my shit is like prime for concerts,
yeah.
so to speak.
I,
But more so like an intimate setting, I think is like my bag. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're wrong about that prompt to concerts thing. Like just think about J. Cole or Kendrick or any other lyricist.
Mm,
They're even Wu-Tang Clan, like one of their best talents when it came to rap was crowd engagement. Like if you watch an old Wu-Tang Clan concert, an old Kendrick Lamar concert, like even though they're lyrical, they're not really like hyping you up. They still understood how to make sure that the crowd like enjoyed the engagement that they were having. Like, you did what I'm
I don't
saying?
know if I could agree with you on
You
that one,
can't, bro.
bro.
You
Especially
gotta
this generation, bro. We got
okay,
people,
that's facts. He had a point. You got
especially
a
this
point.
generation. We don't care about lyrics anymore, bro. We
But
care
people
about,
feel it. You ain't never watched a J. Cole concert, niggas jumping,
but
rage.
they get
Well, not raging.
they jump to like his hyper songs. They're not jumping
Niggas is
to his
jumping to
lyrical shit.
what Crooked Smile. Niggas love that shit.
That's more
That's not hype.
that's hype.
It's not.
and see, I feel like it's both. You know what I'm saying? Like both y'all boys are 100% correct. Cause like you were saying, Trey, it's kind of like once you build. I grew up millions in the fact that niggas don't care about what Kendrick has to say until he's Kendrick. That's how I feel about it. When
Okay.
you're up and coming and you're kind of like if Kendrick made To Pimp a Butterfly in 2009, that
That
shit
shit would
wouldn't have
have
went nowhere.
flopped.
That would
You
have
know what I'm
flopped.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it would have flopped, but that shit wouldn't have made no noise. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Kendrick had to be Kendrick before he made an album like that for that shit really to be jumping. You know what I'm saying? So
I get
I
you.
think it's like an in between because, like you said, Trey, J. Cole, the tour I've heard the most about, bro, was his For Your Eyes Only tour. and that's his most intimate album. There's not really any bangers on there besides maybe like Neighbors, you know what I'm saying? But so I think it's both, honestly. I think y'all boys both make like great points in that.
I'm just saying, like, our generation really don't like the people that's really packing stadiums is the niggas that get shit lit. Playboy Cardi, Travis Scott, maybe not anymore.
Travis Scott is still selling out an arena. I don't care what nobody says. Travis Scott's still selling out arenas. He has a cult following.
He probably is.
He will,
but,
for sure.
Like, one of my favorite artists that ever, like, you know, explained how we interpret music is Andre 3000. Y'all know, of course, y'all know Andre, right?
Yeah,
of course.
That Hey Y'all song.
Yeah.
Hey Y'all. You know, he was talking about some depressing shit in that song.
Yeah, I actually just.
But it's the way he delivered it.
Exactly.
He delivered it upbeat.
But I didn't know about that shit when I was 9 years old. I'm just sitting here bopping my head and shit.
Right.
I was just sitting, but like he was just explaining that we don't care about what he's saying. We just care about the feeling of shit nowadays. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And speaking of feeling, like this plays into one of the questions I had to ask you. Like the thing that's taking over Florida rap is like y'all's drill scene, trap scene, or whatever, and like it's a very violent brand of rap that's taken over. So when you're trying to find your fan base and find people like us who enjoy what you have to say, like what do you think of, like, especially when it comes to that area you're in? Like, do you feel as if it's hard for you to find people who want to listen to you because all they want to hear is Fulio talk about who he just smoked on?
Facts, because you are from Florida, aren't you?
Yeah, he's from
Tallahassee. You don't sound anything like a Florida rapper, like the Florida rapper.
Like at all.
Right, yeah, nah, I definitely agree. I think Florida, I feel like we have a couple sounds, but obviously Kodak has been the biggest thing to come out in my lifetime.
So,
yeah, I think Kodak's a really good rapper. I like him. I'm not like a super fan or anything, but I like Kodak a lot. But yeah, I'm definitely not in that bag. Yeah, I'm not in that bag at all. I would say I kind of just, I don't want to say I'm going to leave it up to fate because obviously I'm trying to put in the work to build my platform, but I feel like the people who will connect, and those who don't want to listen won't listen. And like I said, I'm just trying to build my shit to where it gets to a point where like you have no choice but to at least listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When the Kendricks, when the Coles started, I'm sure it was mad niggas around them that were like, yeah, like my boy's good at rapping, but they wasn't really hearing what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. I know my style of rap isn't necessarily what's popping, but fuck it. Like I said, I'm gonna, first and foremost, I make this shit for me. You know what I'm saying? To release. And shit that I would want to listen to and shit that I think is good. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to trust in my pen at the end of the day.
So when you say that you make this for you, would you be okay with not making a dime from your rap?
100%. My thing is, I want to build my platform. If my platform didn't make me any money, I would 100% be fine with that. Like 100%. Because I love music, bro. Like I'm a nerd. Like this is my favorite thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Just as long as like I got that connection from people, like having people reach out to me and be like, yo, like I fuck with this, I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I do it outside of myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, obviously if I made money off it, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind it, but that's definitely not what's on my mind.
Before I ask my next question, like I feel like it's hard not to make money nowadays, especially like, well, I wouldn't say not to, but if you're like a social media person and you have like a quick knack and that shit catches on, you get 10,000 followers, I feel, or even 5,000. I feel like it's always a way to make money online.
Yeah, you start monetizing it.
Yeah,
and
like
I was gonna ask y'all how y'all feel like in terms of your podcast, because like you said, Trey, that's a great point. Because on TikTok specifically, once you hit 10K followers, you can start to monetize your posts and shit like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's like the day I hit 10,000 followers, obviously I'm gonna start monetizing that shit because I can.
Right.
You feel me? But that's not necessarily why I'm doing it. So like, what about y'all in terms of your podcast? Would you say like if you never made a dime off it, you would still do it just for the love of it?
We was just handling some business like yesterday,
yes.
bro. We was just handling some business with somebody yesterday, and we was just at like we had to talk about like with the business that we was doing, we had to talk about like, hey, so what happens if we stop? What would happen if we was to stop? And I had to tell Trey, I was like, bro, I fucking hate talk about this shit, bro, because it's like I don't want to quit. But it's like you have to have those conversations, just like a marriage or something.
Yeah.
Like you have to have the conversation of, oh, should there be a prenup or not? You don't want to talk about it. It hurts your feelings to talk about it,
But you
but
have
you
to.
have to talk about it. You have
Just
to
in
talk
case.
about it. So with us, well, with me in specific, I would love to make a living out of this. My plan B in life is to be a lawyer. This is my plan A, and I would honestly say that I could be depressed if I'm living my plan B.
Yeah.
I would be depressed. I'm not gonna lie.
And same thing, like for me, because like we started this purely off of our love, like my love for music and his love for connecting with people. And like so like we're trying to use music and Black culture as a way of connecting to people and shit like that. So if I were to, like, as of right now, like I ain't got no problems not making no money off of it, because it is what I like to do. Like it gets my mind off of whatever my mind was on earlier. I get to talk to people, connect with people, and see, like, we're not, although you're from Florida, I'm from Atlanta, we're not that different. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from Colorado.
And we're all able to sit here and coexist and talk about something we all have a common ground in, Black culture and music.
Right.
So in that aspect, like I absolutely love doing this. So if I never saw a dime of it right now at 22 years old, that wouldn't bother me. But like you said, like we had that conversation where we're talking about 5-6 years down the road, and it's like, would I still be podcasting if I wasn't making no money and I got 2 kids and a wife?
That
So
sure hurt my feelings. But I think that's when, like, I think that's when you really become successful, is when you keep on pushing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I was watching this movie the other day about what's that guy, the artist that cut off his ear?
Van Gogh.
Yeah, Van Gogh. He did not get a lick of praise while he was alive.
Yeah.
Like
Niggas
he
don't know
didn't get
that.
yes, they did not appreciate his art until this nigga was dead.
It's that, bro.
And you know
But
what's
he
crazy?
kept on, like, throughout his whole entire life, he kept on pushing his art.
Yeah.
And
Kept creating.
and my fault, Brian, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was you about to say?
Nah. I just say he kept creating.
He kept creating, no matter how, like, people was making fun of his art because they
Yeah.
were saying, like, oh, you're using too much paint. Why is it like shaped like that and shit like that? He was getting disrespected, but he kept going, bro.
And I say this all the time. Like I've said this multiple times on this podcast. Sometimes what it takes for people to realize your talent is for you to leave, for you to go, for you to, in this case, like die. Like even to the point of I say this I use this example all the time. Do you remember when Pop Smoke was alive? Everybody kept saying like his music isn't diverse. He keeps making Welcome to the Party over and over again, like make a new song, this, that, and the third. He's riding out. But as soon as he died, they respected the craft. They saw the diversity in his music. So that sometimes, which is a strange reality, you have to see people die. And
I think that's a bad example.
but quick side note,
I think that's a bad example.
But-
Niggas,
what fault, bro? What was your,
niggas ain't appreciating Pop Smoke like art, bro. They
But
just was
nigga,
just they was just dick riding him for the moment.
They was. But I feel
What
like,
do you think, bro? What do you think, Julian? Was they dick riding him, or was they
No, I
actually
think-
appreciating his art?
I think that was a pretty good example, honestly. I feel like, because I wasn't big into Pop Smoke. I'm still not that big into him, honestly. I mean, rest in peace. I love a few of his songs, but yeah, I feel like the energy shift was crazy, though. Like,
yeah.
the shit I would hear before he died was like, oh, like, you heard of this guy Pop Smoke? Like, whatever. Then after he died, I was like, oh, Pop Smoke, like, that's my nigga. Niggas growling and shit. Like, yeah, so I feel like Trey was saying, bro, it's just weird. Sometimes you gotta leave to really feel that love, which it sucks, but that's just a sad reality of it.
And like, I ain't gonna cap, this ain't got nothing to do with what we was talking about. I just remember earlier today I was scrolling through Instagram. Actually, my buddy Nehemiah sent it to me on like we're in a group chat like with all my friends from my old school, and it was Joe Biden, and he said the death of George Floyd
Was bigger than
the death of Martin Luther King. How do y'all feel about that?
He said
The
Joe
death
Biden
of
said that?
Joe Biden.
He said
Joe
the
Biden
death.
said some wild ass shit.
But
I'm not
I ain't gonna
gonna
cap.
lie.
Don't get me started on Joe Byron, bro. I really don't want to
Joe
get started
Biden?
on Joe
Okay,
Byron.
I ain't gonna cap. At first, like I was arguing with my girl about it. Like at first, I was like, nah, like that's not a fact. But if we're thinking about just the death, because Martin Luther King's what he did in his lifetime was what caused change. Like George Floyd literally caused change from dying.
I feel that, but nah, bro. I feel like that's not even a conversation, bro. Like,
I
obviously, niggas wasn't even close to being alive back then. But I can't even imagine what niggas was feeling like when Martin got
that's
murked, bro.
yeah.
We not only that, but then we also have social media now. Think
That's
Exactly.
what I
about
was
it.
saying.
Without social media, the world knew that Martin Luther King
Right.
died,
Yeah.
Right.
and
Back
people
in the
was crying.
'60s, niggas was getting
Yeah,
choked out like that on the regular. On the regular, that was just another Tuesday.
that's what
You know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
That was
This
just
nigga
another
said that was another
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So,
Hell
yeah,
nah.
nah. I mean, if you put it like that, Trey, like it definitely was a huge moment in time. Like I think that's gonna be something we have to talk to our kids about for
Yeah.
sure. Like Martin Luther King, bro. Nah, like that's
That's
like
I ain't gonna
But you
count.
brought up some. You brought up something that was kind of good. You said Biden has been saying some crazy shit. How old are you, my guy?
I'm 24.
So you voted last election, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Don't who you put in office? Who
I
who
voted
you
for
vote for?
Biden for sure. I
Yeah.
voted Biden
So
for sure.
you think you're going back on that?
Nah, not at all. Not
Even
at
though
all.
he's been saying some reckless
Yeah,
shit,
not
You
at
think
all.
Joe Biden
Because
gonna run? I don't think he gonna run again.
his old ass is running again.
I don't
He's the
think
only
so,
one
bro.
that's going to beat Trump.
You
yeah,
think Trump gonna run again?
If Trump runs again, he's
yeah.
winning. I
No,
guarantee it. I put money
I
on it.
wouldn't be
Trump,
surprised.
Trump is probably gonna run again. And honestly, like Million said, I low key think that nigga could win again, bro. But my
Does that
thing is,
scare y'all?
bro,
I
at the
ain't.
end of the, I'm not super political. I'm not super into politics. I need to be
Mm,
more well read about it. But my thing is, the president for me is just literally like a puppet. They're just
Yeah.
they're just the nigga that when other countries think of America, they say, all right, this is your president. Trump, he's just a little too reckless for me, bro. Like the shit he be, and he don't even always be wrong for real, but the shit he be saying is just dangerous, bro. Like
Yeah.
that nigga had smoke for which I think it's North Korea, the one we got smoke with. When he
yeah.
was saying that shit, I was like, yeah, nah, that's the final straw. That nigga
And
be talking crazy, bro. Like
and
for
you
real, for
would be
real.
surprised, bro. The way we started this podcast was purely based off of the interactions me and Million had when we was having these political conversations. Like
Really?
that's the whole reason why I wanted to start. Yes, like me and
Yeah,
Mill used to go at it, and we'd
yeah.
agree, but have two completely ways about agreeing.
Yeah, I could kind of y'all two remind me honestly. Trey, I feel like is more so like me from what I've gathered from what I've watched from y'all and like other podcasts and the clips y'all
Mm.
post. Millions, you remind me of my friend Chad, and I'm gonna show Chad this afterwards. I'm gonna show him y'all
Explain.
page
Explain.
because, like for example, I remember when y'all were talking about like when you were talking about coon. Both y'all were talking about coon. Like what is a
Yeah.
coon? And you had the viewpoint like, oh, to me the biggest coon is like a gangbanger. And a
Mhm.
lot of people would take offense to that. However, Chad, I feel like my friend Chad, I can't speak for him, but I feel like Chad would take a similar viewpoint as you. And I see what you're saying. Like, I definitely see what you're saying. I just think it's dangerous for you to say that because
Mm.
white people who benefit off of black oppression, who benefit off of mass violence, mass incarceration, I feel like they take any sort of black agreements and they try to just, you know what I'm saying? They try and just say,
They
yeah,
definitely do wrong with it.
you know what I'm saying? You know what
They
I'm
do
saying?
wrong with
So
it.
it's not even that I disagree with you at all, because I do think the gangbanger that's killing people in his community and that's pushing drugs through, I think that is a coon as well. But
Mhm.
I just think it's dangerous when we start speaking like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it needs to be heard though. Like, when's the last time you heard? Nobody says that shit.
But he has a very good, honestly, because when he said I didn't agree for real, but you can't. He has a very valid point of our words being able to be weaponized, and I still don't think that the gangbanger is the biggest coon in America because
Oh,
I feel it's
biggest no, biggest no.
oh, yeah.
I don't think
So
so.
who's the biggest coon in America then?
Not to cut you off, because for
Hold
me
up,
the
let me
biggest.
finish what I was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Who's the
No,
biggest coon in
not you,
America?
not. Before I answer that question, you were good, but or should I point here? Fuck it.
You good?
The audience, he right here to us, so don't get mad while we looking over here.
Yeah.
But to that point, like I feel like gangbangers are nurtured by the system and to become that. Like if I see my dad go to jail, I see my uncles go to jail. If those people in my life or the male figure that's in my life, they're all going to jail. What inspiration do I have to be anything other than what I've seen? Like the reason why I went to college, joined a fraternity, and wanted to pursue a career is because that's what my dad did. My dad went to college, joined a fraternity, and pursued a career. That's why I have those aspirations. I had a male figure to show me like that's what I need to do as a man. If you don't have that figure, how can I fault you for that?
Julian, what do you want to say to that?
No, 100%.
Okay.
100%. I do feel like, I don't know if Millions wants to speak to this perspective as well. So for me personally, my father's been locked up for 20 plus years. My older brother, he's 5 years older than me. He was in and out for a few years, for like 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? So technically, as far as men went, because I'm not close with my extended family at all. So within my house, all I saw looking up to was niggas in jail, technically. For me, that was never an option, bro. I've never smoked weed a day in my life. I've never even taken a sip of alcohol a day in my life. Just because I ain't even want to, most of it was I ain't even want to put myself in a position to be caught up in all that. You know what I'm saying? So I love Tyler, the Creator, and he spoke to this. I forget what song it was, but it's just basically about not being that stereotypical product of your environment. I think it is possible to go against the grain. I feel like I'm a testament to that. However, the exception isn't the rule. You know what I'm saying? So I do think Trey's point is correct overall, because I think typically, unfortunately, you are nurtured, you know what I'm saying, in a certain way. And that dictates the trajectory your life goes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how you look at it. I think it is possible, but just because it's possible doesn't mean that we should ignore the fact that a lot of kids are put in situations where like they don't have a real chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm. I like how you said the exception should not be the rule. That's deep. That's deep. But again, we have to get to this point to where it's like, okay, there are people out here that, okay, so my question to you is, I've seen people like you. Like I've seen people like you that hasn't had a father figure, has been in the system, like has parents that's been in the system, a very messed up life, but still found a way to get up out of that. What is it that made you make that change? Like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't follow that system. And whenever we can find out what that is, then we need to start putting that in the forefront instead of gang banging
Yeah.
and shit like that. What do you think it is that made you change? That gave you
That's,
that shift?
for me personally, my mom, bro. That's literally it. My mom and my little brothers, I guess, because I wanted to set an example for them. But my mom, bro, she's like, that's like my best friend, bro. Like, she did it. You know what I'm saying? Alone,
Mhm.
she had four of us, worked 2-3 jobs most of the time. Just shit you hear all the time. You know what I'm saying? She was just a great mom, and I couldn't have her doing all that for me to be fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
just trying
It's
to
a
pay it
fact.
forward to her, honestly. Yeah. What about y'all?
I don't know, cause I mean, I guess I wasn't really raised in the hood for real, but like we kind of have that similar background. Both of our we was talking about it the other day. Both of our dads is in fucking prison. Well, mine he just got out, but his ass was in there for 20, damn near all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it was my stepdad that made me not fall into that, but it was just something in me that just made me like, you know what, I want to go against the grain. And maybe that's why I be saying some of the reckless shit that I do. I still have that in me.
Yeah.
But like, I think there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
Yeah.
That factor that makes you go against the grain and what you're saying. I think we need to figure out what that is though, like completely.
Yeah. I mean, like I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, and this is gonna sound random, but it's gonna play into what we're talking about. But she was like, Trey, I figured out what's the problem with your personality on the podcast. I was like, what's wrong, mom? Tell me. Because she was watching the Christmas episode, and she was just saying, like, I've had an experience that not a lot of other black people can relate to. Like both of you guys said, like your fathers were incarcerated and stuff like that. Like I didn't have that lifestyle. Like I grew up, my dad was in the house. I never had those issues. And like what she was trying to say is like, you just don't talk about that stuff. But I don't think that should be something I don't talk about. I feel like I should still
Nah,
offer
that
that.
should still be
Yeah,
you, bro.
that's
That's
my
part of your
story.
brand.
So I offer that perspective of people who just live. So for me, my inspiration of just wanting to be great was just the fact that I've seen it be done before. Like I know it's possible. I seen somebody with the name John Blackshear go out and be great. So I was like, well, shit, I got to do it too. Now,
I ain't gonna lie. Maybe it was my name that made me go for it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I looked up my name when I was a kid. I was like, a boy named Million, because I thought it was special. I was like, a boy born with the name Million Cooper, and nothing popped up. I was like, okay, Million Connolly Cooper. Nothing popped up, and I was just like, fuck, like, why isn't my name here? They should know me for some reason.
yeah.
Damn. Maybe that's what made me want to strive for the greatness.
And I can definitely say like my name is what made me want to strive towards greatness. Like I seen two people come along named John Solomon Blackshear live amazing lives. My grandfather was an educator, my dad was an engineer. So I feel like I gotta just follow in those footsteps.
What made you, Julian?
Like I said, it's just my mom, bro. Seeing how hard she went for us, it was just like I had to pay that back, pay it forward type of thing. And then wanting to set an example for my little brother, like I said. Outside of that, bro, I never loved school. I wasn't one of those kids. Like I always did very well, but I knew my like wanting to do well was just to make my mom proud. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I've always just wanted to be someone that my mom could be proud of. So that's really it, bro. For real.
Do you think that she's proud of you right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think she's been proud of me. Like I don't want to say if I died, but let's say like my life just like paused. I feel like, bro, always, bro. Honestly, that's one thing I like about her too. Like I've always felt that way. Like I feel like I could have paused at like 7 years old, and she would have just been like content with all that I like accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah,
but would you
I
be
think
would you be content with all that you accomplished right now?
Nah. Not even close. Not even
I was
close.
waiting on it. I was waiting on it.
Nah, not even close. Not to say I'm not thankful, because I think I've gotten to do a lot of amazing things. I've met a lot of amazing people too, which is what I'm most thankful for. But nah, I feel like I have so much left to do. Like so much left to do.
Damn,
What
why
about
do
y'all
we
boys?
do that? Why do we do that as humans? Like when people look at us, they think that we're doing big things. Like they look at our podcast and they like I've had people be like, "Damn, you're doing big things. I love how much you grind. I love that you do this and that every day and shit like that." And I'm sitting here like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like I'm nowhere near where I need to be. And it just sounds so disrespectful when I say it to myself, you know?
But I feel like greatness is born in the lack of contention. So like you're not going to be great if you're content with the way you look. Like let's say LeBron. If LeBron was content with a normal 10-year career, he called it quits after his first 2 rings and said like, "Hey, I did what I need to do," and retired after he got that ring in Cleveland, he wouldn't be LeBron James.
Yeah.
He wasn't content. He went out there, he said, "I want to be the greatest of all time." And then after he felt like he reached that point of where he was the greatest of all time, and I agree with him. People may not, but I think LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time. His new goal is, well, fuck, I got 3 rings, I got multiple MVPs, got this, that, and the third, hella all-star appearances. I just want to play so I can play on the same team as my son. Right. So like, and I feel like he's never been content. Every time he reached the goal, he found that next goal to get. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where greatness is born. Always striving for something new. And I feel like the people who fall from grace are the people who failed to find something to yearn again. Like the people who reached their peak and they were just content with it and they don't really care about it no more. So they just fell off.
Right.
Do people really like, that's crazy to think that people really do like reach their peak.
Yeah.
Like I've never reached my peak in anything. In anything I've done, I've never reached the peak. Like, I mean, I may have gotten like first places or trophies, but I've never been somewhere where I was just content with like, okay, cool, I got my trophy now. I don't have to worry about nothing else.
I think
is that a negative trait to have though, bro? Julian, is that a negative trait?
Because I don't think so, bro. Like, because it was you that said it earlier, Trey, just about like relativity, like. Because you might have hit your peak, but sometimes you don't think you hit your peak. And like you don't realize it till you look back. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, bro. That's a good ass question. Cause I don't know if I feel like I've ever hit my peak either.
Mm.
Cause like
Okay.
so like I hooped in high school. You know what I'm saying? And I could look back now and say I was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like I scored 1,000 points for my career. Like I started all 4 years on varsity, all that. But I don't feel like I ever hit my peak for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm sure if you ask my friends, they'll be like, "Oh no, like your peak was this time or when this happened." But like, cause I feel like I'm the best now I've ever been at hoops. You know what I'm saying? Strange enough, but yeah, bro, you could accomplish all the things in the world, but peak is like a relative term. Cause
Yeah.
shit, LeBron, man, feel like he hasn't even hit his peak yet. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
And
think he has either. I think he has another year niggas still ain't seen yet.
right,
He
and that's
30,
LeBron.
he 36.
LeBron
Still going,
aging, bro.
got the most 30-point games in the league. I don't care what nobody say. LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time.
So that's crazy that you said that you peaked in high school. Not like you just said that, and it kind of blew me. Like you was like one of the popular kids in school.
Yeah, I say I was popular for sure.
Do you sometimes like reminisce about high school? Like you miss high school type shit?
Nah, not at all, honestly.
I think
Oh,
you,
okay.
I think you misinterpreted what he said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
I
I'm
think
trying to say. Like, what do you mean by that?
what I'm saying is, so I had a great basketball career by high school standards, and a lot of people would have thought that I would think of that as a peak, but I don't think of it as that at
Okay.
all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
I never
Okay.
hit my peak, whether it be for basketball specifically or how
Mhm.
you took it too in general. Like I don't feel like that was my peak at all. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got
But
you. I got
like
you.
those around me would probably be like, "Oh no, like that was like a great time for you." Which I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, it was cool. Like I liked high school, but like you just asked, like I don't ever miss high school. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and so another thing I have a tattoo on my chest that says "Today is a good day to die," right?
Wow.
I have
Yeah,
not seen that.
yeah. I have a tattoo on my chest saying
Have
"Today is a good day to die."
Ian, we hoop with our shirts off.
Nah, I don't be taking my
You
shirt off
tank,
that
tank,
much.
tank,
Yeah,
tank, tank.
yeah, but it's on my chest that says "Today is a good day to
I ain't never
die."
read that. Damn.
Yeah, and at first I was thinking about getting that shit taken off, but then I really think about it. Like, although I haven't reached my peak yet, right, and I'm not satisfied with where I am, I'm satisfied with how much I've tried.
Yes.
And I can honestly say that if every single day that I podcast and I walk and I go my ass home, I honestly say, you know what? If I got hit by a car right now, I'm cool with dying.
Yeah.
Because at least I know that I tried my hardest, you know?
Yeah.
That that to me is like the ultimate satisfaction. I
Yeah.
can't.
Being like, regardless of what you think happens in the next life, if you're content with what you did here, or if you're proud of what you've laid or the foundation you've laid here, I feel like that's a strong.
I'm not proud of where I'm at, but I'm
You
proud
proud of
of
what
what
you've
I've
done.
done
Like,
to
I
get to where I'm at right now, if that makes any sense.
to the
Nah,
point
for sure.
to the point where we were talking about earlier, like Martin Luther King was assassinated. His life was cut short. But do you think like he wasn't proud of the progression he was able to make and the foundation he was able to lay before he passed away? I feel like he would be very proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's not something a lot of people could have ever done or would have
Facts.
ever done. So I feel like that's a deep ass tattoo.
That's what I'm saying. At first, I wanted to get it off, but I'm like, I want to
I
keep
like
this shit
that.
because I
I
want to
like
live
that.
my life every day to where I'm like, you know what? If I was to die right now, I'd be satisfied.
Julian looking like, bro, you crazy as hell.
Nah, no, bro. I'm looking like that's just wild to me, bro. That's fire for sure. I think it's like it's a little morbid, obviously, and
Hmm.
I'm big on like law of attraction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like the premise of it, the concept of it, I love it though, and I'm kind of not envious, but I wish I could say that. You know what I'm saying? I'd say I'm very content with like how I've treated people, how I've treated my friends, my family, everything like that. But in terms of my day to day life, because sometimes, bro, I be sitting in school, in class, I'm like, bro, I don't really want to be here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Facts.
it's like on a day, like in general, I think I can agree with you, Millions. But on a day to day, I can't say every day I could wake up and I could look back and be like, yeah, like that would have been a good day to die. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
some days, bro, I just be feeling like I'm fucking wasting my time, bro. Whether it be at school or whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, with you being at school, do you feel like it's taken away from your music?
Oh, for sure. Like,
Uh,
for sure. It's hard to like, because obviously that's my first goal. That's my first focus. You know what I'm saying? It's all about prioritization. And I haven't reached a point yet. I don't know if I ever will where I'll put music in front of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
ooh,
although music is, I know that's my like core passion. It's just like whether it be societal standards, whether it be like me wanting going back to making my mom proud, whatever it may be. School is just like I gotta finish that shit, and then you know what I'm saying. Then I'll tap in, type of thing. So yeah, bro.
hey, bro. So I just came up with the question of the day. I was gonna come up with something, but I have a question of the day for both of y'all.
Okay.
All right. So obviously we want to be podcasters, and you want to be a rapper, right? How much are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams?
Ooh. That depends. Are we? Because sacrifice is, again, that's another relative thing.
Okay. Would you go homeless for your? Would you go homeless for your dreams?
Would I go homeless for my dreams? I don't think so.
Ooh.
I
What
don't think I
about you,
would.
Trey?
See, like, my perspective is a little different because I've been homeless before. So it's like
Ooh.
that's like I'm not gonna say that's normal, but like I've been at that state for long enough periods to be like, yeah, for sure. For to do music, I would do that like that. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd probably do it for years, honestly. If I knew at the end of that was like I had the platform that I want, for sure. I wouldn't even think
Had the
about it.
plan. All I needed was a platform.
Right.
So you would have sacrificed your living, the way you living right now, for your dreams.
Like I said, I feel like sacrifice is relative, and I think he played into that point.
I'm
Like
talking about like you would
Yeah.
lose your home for your dreams.
That's what I'm saying. Sacrifice is relative. I wouldn't be comfortable losing my home, but sacrificing money, time, and effort, that's something I would always put forward to make my dream a possibility.
Okay, so Julian, you said you would give up, like you would be homeless for your dreams. Would you sacrifice your soul?
My soul. I'm not in all that shit. Nah.
No, I'm fucking with you, bro. I'm fucking with you, but that's a no.
Nah.
If you mean to tell me if they come up with,
we asked most
Yeah,
rappers,
we
would you
asked-
sell your soul?
I'm saying you ain't selling your soul.
It's a valid question, but I'd like to think, and it's easy for me to say now, because in the moment you never know. But I know myself pretty well. I don't think I would be on that shit, bro. That whole like whatever you want to call it, Illuminati, Freemason, all that shit. Nah, I don't think so. But what about you though, Millions? Like
You better than me, nigga. You better than You better than me. I don't know, nigga. I've sacrificed so much already. I mean, a starving man might do some crazy things. Let me stop, man. Let me stop.
Nah, that's facts though. Oh, and then what about going back to like sacrificing your living situation? Would you go homeless for your dream?
For sure. Because I told you, like, this is my plan A.
Yeah.
This is my plan A, and I mean that. Like, if I was to, damn, I guess I like talking about death for some reason. I don't know why, but like, it's such a crazy thing. But like especially when I watched that movie with Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh yeah,
remember? Yeah. It's just like, even if people don't appreciate me now, there's a possibility that they may appreciate me in the future.
Yeah.
And like maybe aliens stumble upon our podcast and just start fucking loving us, you know? Like,
that's probably hella bread.
That would be crazy. But like, like that's what I keep going for. I really do want this to be something big. Man.
Yeah, I feel, and me too. And I feel like we definitely have the foundation to create something big. And I feel like you do too. So what are some inspirations that cause you to like start rapping, or who are some inspirations, like straight musical, like before we talk about family members and stuff, like straight rappers, like who inspired you to have your flow, your style, and things of that nature?
That's such a great question. There's so many people I can name, but like,
give me three. Give me three. Top three.
All right. So I would say the first person that like I listened to them and I was like, yo, like this nigga's really nice and like I want to do this was definitely Nas. The first time I listened to Illmatic in full, I was just like, it was like 7th grade around there, and I was just like, yo, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know niggas could like bend word, because I grew up listening to Wayne. That's like my most listened to artist, and obviously his punchlines are very crazy. So I would hear catchy shit like that, and I like G Unit too. I love 50 Cent. But when I heard Illmatic Nas, that's when I was like, yo, like this nigga's like, it's like deeper than just like Weezy F Baby, and the F is for phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little deeper. So Nas was the first guy, and then from there, bro, like, cause I feel like I listen to a pretty wide range of music, and I just like songwriting. So like, it's not even always rappers. Like I'm a big Ed Sheeran fan, and he's a big inspiration for me in terms of like how I'll structure my verses sometimes, or like how I'll phrase things. So I'd say like Ed Sheeran. I love Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl's my nigga,
Earl is,
bro.
y'all. Wait, hold. You heard his new album?
Yeah, I
That,
actually just listened to it.
bro, that's probably his best album since I want to say Doris.
Y'all was
Like,
fucking with it. Y'all
like,
was fucking with it.
I
yeah,
thought
I
it was
fuck with
short
it.
though.
It was definitely short, but it had like, cause hold, I'll have to pull up his catalog. I ain't gonna cap. Who made me fall in love with music is Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler the Creator. Those were two people. Yes, those were two people where I was like, damn, like, although it's not your normal people, like I was like 12, 11 listening to these niggas.
Definitely underrated too.
Like,
he's underrated.
they showed me like you ain't gotta be the standard. Like you don't have to sag your pants and talk degrade women. Like you can talk about butterflies and shit and pregnant ladies and
random shit.
Just
Yeah,
random
bro.
shit and just be fine.
Weird, bro. Yeah,
and like but cause like I felt like every album after Doris, for real, like I don't like shit, I don't go outside. Like I didn't really, cause that's when he started using that grainy vocal shit, and I ain't really fuck with that. And he kind of kept it with the new album Sick, but like revitalized it in a way where I was like, all right, I can fucks with this. Like I still listen to every Earl Sweatshirt album, but I still fucks with it.
See, it's funny, and that's what I like about Earl, cause like he's similar all throughout his catalog, but at the same time he has those different sounds. Cause for me, I don't like shit, I don't go outside. That's my favorite project by him. But it's not even just because musically,
but that's nostalgia.
It's because of when it dropped. Cause like, and this is what I was gonna ask y'all too. Like, timing is so important, bro, for everything in life.
Hell yeah.
But especially with me for music. So it's like when he dropped that was 2015. And like I said, like I've been homeless before, and the first time that my family and I got evicted was 2015. So like that album, like that shit just put me in a different zone. It just really helped me like process it. Cause that's the type of time I was on. I was like, bro, like I was down bad. I was like, yeah, like I really don't feel like going outside type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that
crazy.
Yeah, that album really just like.
How did you not like shit? I'm looking at it. He had Good Grief. I bet that shit was hard.
I'm not saying I'm saying that's when I started like realize seeing the shift, because Earl went from a witty lyricist who prided off of like making you laugh and using random funny bars. Like that was the Earl I had fell in love with. So when he started exploring his deeper, more depressed side, it kind of made me veer away from because it went away from what it was, because he started doing it with songs like Chum, and I was like, okay, it's cool for a song or two, but throughout that whole project, it was that whole it kind of took me into that place where he was, and I didn't like that at that time. I respect the album.
I'm not gonna lie.
Today.
I liked my favorite was some rap songs, and it's so people don't even like. It's just like it just brings me through the motions, and I just like shit that like can bring me through the motions. Like I don't like when artists just focus on one mood throughout the whole album, and like it felt the most human to me when I heard some rap songs.
That's how I feel about Wolf by Tyler the Creator.
That's
probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite album.
Wolf was
of all
hard
time.
too, because
a lot of the things, like outside of the abandonment issues that Tyler faces, a lot of the things when it came to finding himself when it comes to image goddamn figuring out who he is, being awkward. Like a lot of the shit that he dealt with, not really knowing how to communicate with girls. Cause I went to all boys school at the time. So all of those things he was struggling with, like I was having those same struggles. So knowing that somebody else had those problems was like, wow, like I'm not alone.
He was talking about his dad in that too.
Yeah, he was talking about his dad. Yeah, answer. Why won't he answer?
I cried to that one. That one.
Facts. Nah, that's probably my favorite Tyler album. Probably, yeah. It's not album, yeah, because I really like Bastard. That's probably my favorite.
Bastard is the classic. Okay, you go back to the classic.
Okay.
Nah, that shit is different.
All right, so let's just speak 2021. Top 3 albums of 2021.
Damn. Actually,
can I put Gunna on there even though it came out 2022?
Nope. 21. I got my 3 off the top of my head.
I'm tripping. I know this. I would say, bro.
Let me look up like some rap albums real quick.
All my shit is gonna catch y'all off guard. Y'all not gonna know none of these niggas. I'm probably my audience, fan base, my people's listeners. I'm about to put y'all onto some shit. All right, everybody. All right, so number 1.
All right, yeah, Trey.
All right, so number 1. Sometimes I Might Be Introvert by Little Sims.
Oh,
that album is dope as fuck. Super hard. Like it's like Little Sims is like she's this British rapper and like she's just basically going through like her childhood and battling like being the most talented or one of the most talented people where she's from, but still like just wanting and having all this fame and notoriety come to her, but battling with the fact that like she just wants to be herself and stay and just live the way that she's used to living. Sometimes I Might Be Introvert is like one of the best albums I've heard in a while. After that is Don't Go Telling Your Mama by Topaz Jones. And in that album, he's basically like exploring what it's like growing up while black and highlighting the dysfunctions and shit that he's seen in his old family. And then Mac Hami.
Okay.
What was it? I forgot the name. It's like Salute to Haiti or some shit. That
I
album
think it's Pray for Haiti.
Pray for Haiti. Yeah. That album was good as fuck. I just wished I knew what he looked like.
Right. That nigga is an enigma. I think that's the word for it.
Yeah.
He's very mysterious, but he's fit though for sure.
He's like
Little Sims, Trey. She's hard, bro.
Hard
Her
as
shit
fuck.
is up there for me too, honestly. Her shit is up there. I've never listened to Topaz Jones, so I'm gonna have to tap into that.
Give him a listen. He's like he reminds me a lot of like an Amine type dude. Like it's like a funk rap type deal. Like yeah.
Nah, I just put his name in my notes, so I'm gonna tap it. I'm gonna get back to you on that.
I know you probably got Nas. I know you got Nas in there somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, Nas dropped the album last year. That was dope.
He dropped 2 actually last year. Nah, Nas wouldn't be in my top 3.
Okay. Go ahead and give us your top 3, and then I'll give you mine.
So mine would the one that's for sure in there would be Dave. We're All Alone in This Together. It's funny you said Lil Sims because Dave is from the UK too.
Yeah,
that nigga's bro. Y'all niggas gotta tap in if you haven't already. That nigga's different, bro. Like, I think he's the best rapper alive right now. Like, yeah, like that nigga's different. So Dave, We're All Alone in This Together.
That's a deep title.
It's like a
especially coming out of quarantine. That's a deep title.
Right. Yeah. Like It's kind of self-explanatory. Like you don't gotta think too much into the title. Like it's just kind of that duality of like we're alone, but like we're all connected in a way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Dave for sure. I honestly would probably put Little Sims in mine too, for real. So I'll put her in there. And then my third would either be Mick Jenkins' Elephant in the Room.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, either that or honestly, bro, just off how much I was listening to it, either Mick or I would say honestly probably Baby King, the Melodic Blues.
Melodic Blues was great.
Yeah,
it's my top 5.
Yeah, I love Baby King. Yeah, but what about you, Millions?
So with me, number 1 probably is Montero with that nigga. You know that nigga. Lil Nas X. Yeah. I'm capping.
I was like,
oh shit, it was a dope project.
No, I'm fucking around. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I was selfish as hell with my playlist last year.
Yeah.
I can't even lie. Like, I just was bumping my own music. I had no time to really tap into other music artists and shit like that. I actually listened through their whole entire album. Exactly. But the ones that I did listen to all the way through was Jasmine Sullivan's Hotels.
Okay.
For some reason, I just really fucked with it. It kind of made me love women a little bit more because I hated them at one point. Like, I hate how they was hoes and shit like that. But she made it like she just explained it like they're just like niggas. They're human. So I really did like Hotels. I got Hotels. I listened to Drake's album like a motherfucker. It wasn't his best, but it wasn't his best by far. But it was so catchy.
Lover Boy, I think
it was so catchy.
I think it's overhated.
Yeah, it was so catchy to me, man.
Not overrated, overhated.
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. And then Summer Walker is another woman that I was listening to. Summer Walker's new album. That shit was fire. Shit was fire. Oh wait, I'm tripping. Sorry. Take Summer out. Call Me If You Get Lost.
Yeah. I forget about that one.
How am I tripping? Too. I'm tripping hard. Okay. Call Me If You Get Lost was so hard.
You get famous, Julian. You get famous, right?
Yeah.
You have a entanglement with a nice young lady. Mm-hmm. One night you finish, go dump the condom. You doing the Drake? You putting some hot sauce in there too?
Honestly, bro, if I ever get that famous, yeah, I'll do some shit like that. No, 100%. No joke. Because, bro, like, that co-parenting shit, for me at least, that's, like, one of my biggest fears, bro. Like,
yeah.
And especially on some shit like that, where a girl, like, nah, like, yeah.
You think he really did that, though?
I don't think he actually did it, but I honestly would do that if I was.
I mean, if I'm Drake, I'm doing that. If I'm
Drake,
I'm doing that.
God.
Because, bro, they got so much to gain off him, bro. Like, and that's a whole human.
And he can afford another 20 kids and still be straight.
20, 30. He could really damn near afford him a little city.
Right.
Like, no cap.
Right. It's just the emotional and, like, the mental aspect of it that, like, hell nah, bro. I'm not going through all that with someone who would do that. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if apparently his was an accident, so that's on him. You know what I'm saying? But for a girl to go fishing for a condom and that shit is dead, bro.
So do you plan on having a? My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'll throw whatever in the condom to make sure that.
So you plan on having a family? I know you said that co-parenting shit is dead. So
for sure. Yeah,
what's your ideal family to you?
I love kids, bro. I mean, like, I see myself at least 3 kids, bro. At least. Like, if I was, like, rich as fuck, if I was breaded, bro, I would adopt too. That's the thing. So I would have, like, 8-9 kids. If I was super breaded, I'd have, like, 8-9 kids for sure.
Don't get this nigga started. Don't get this nigga started.
What about y'all?
I want a family, but I don't want no more than, like, 4 kids. And then I want to adopt as well, but I don't want no more than, like, 4 biological. And then from there, I'll adopt as need be.
Okay.
I need 10 pure breed millions. Nah,
I told y'all he was breeding.
10 purebred millions. Nah, I'm fucking around. I do want 10 kids, though. I do want 10 minimum. And that's just minimum.
10 minimum?
Minimum, bro.
Nigga need to get started now. I told him that, bro. Just go and bust some down.
Nah, I'd rather start when I'm like 40, 50.
You want to start with 10 kids at the age of 40.
You're gonna be an old ass pops.
You're gonna be like,
but that's bro. There's studies that show that older parents make better children.
I mean, my parents are old.
Define old though. Like, did they?
My mom was 16. My mom was 16.
My parents had me at 38.
So they was up there.
Yeah,
they was financially stable, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure they was financially stable, and shit, that's all that's really needed.
But they weren't planning on having me though. Like, my mom didn't even know she could get pregnant when I came about. So, like, they were actually looking to adopt. And it's a crazy story. My dad has probably, I can count on one hand how many whoopings I've gotten in my life. My dad probably gave me half of one.
Wow.
So, like, when they went to adopt, they were like, my dad was like, "Oh, I can't whoop the kid." Oh no, we're not doing that. So they left, and then that next week, my mom found out she was pregnant because she kept like throwing up, or she was having pains in her stomach or something. And then she went to the doctor and found out she was pregnant. But like, if that would have never happened, I would have had an adopted brother running around the house with me. But that's how they found out, basically. And my dad never laid a hand on me.
So
What? Me and my dad got in one fight.
how many siblings do y'all have?
I have one sister.
I have 4 siblings, 2 little brothers, 2 little sisters.
I have one
Oh,
older
So
sister.
you're the oldest, and you're the oldest sister.
See, I'm the youngest.
Okay. Damn, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, man. Damn, that's crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's just amazing. Like when you actually sit there and watch a person grow, like I've seen my little brother grow into a Navy. Like he's in the Navy right now. It's just amazing seeing that. But just imagine if it was my own kid. That shit would be great,
Yeah.
bro. Oh my God. I can't wait till I have my 10, bro. Minimum. Minimum.
Man, that's crazy.
We
Yeah, I mean, best of luck to you.
Appreciate it.
passion. We've spoken on this podcast, this episode specifically. We spoke a lot of inspiration, things that we're passionate about, the willingness to move or be uncomfortable for our passions, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does passion mean when it comes to when it's being combated with like the means to an end? So, like, that was a question you posed to us. So I want you to passion versus a means to an end. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's like I said, bro. So like for me personally, rapping, I know in my core that I love doing it just to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I never made a dime from it, but I was able to build a platform, I feel like I would live a fulfilled life. You know what I'm saying? But it's like rapping, I don't want to say it's not feasible, but it's not the most, or it wasn't the most feasible option for me. Luckily, I was blessed. I feel like I'm fairly intelligent. I was always good at school. So my first focus was always, all right, I'm going to go to school in order to get a degree. That'll put me in position to get a good job. That'll help me take care of my family. So it's like passion versus means to an end. Your passion isn't always, I guess I would say, the easiest way to provide for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not always the best way, just in terms of abundance. So it's like if I'd have started rapping at 14, and I'm sure by now I'd have done a couple shows, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think I would have been in a position where it's like once I degree after this summer with my master's, I feel like I'll be in a position to get a fairly good job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's that constant battle I be going through, bro. And it's always at the beginning of semesters too. Like this school shit, bro, sometimes it's just a bother. I know y'all boys can relate to that.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
bro, sometimes I'm like,
I'm still working on the first one.
Yeah, right. Just like I could be doing podcast sharing now. Like I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Like I be in class a lot of times where I just be thinking the lyrics, bro. Just be I've written whole verses in class, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I've edited a whole episode while sitting in accounting. Deadass. Like edited a whole audio file while sitting in accounting.
Exactly. So when I posed that question, it was just that premise of just like you, because y'all boys obviously you're both in school, so it's like clearly that was an option for y'all too that y'all thought was at a point at least you thought it was like, all right, I should do this just because I have the ability to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just that constant back and forth. What about y'all boys though? Like, how do y'all feel about it?
I feel like you should always go for the things that you're passionate about. So like even if that means, like I said, like my uncomfortability is like dedicating time, dedicating effort, dedicating money and even to a certain extent how I live, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my form of saying like, all right, I'm not scared to go out on a limb and chase this dream. So I feel like your passion, like Million said, is plan A. It should always be plan A. You should never take a dream and be like, all right, I'm in college right now, so I'm gonna focus on that because that's the more feasible thing to do. And then after that, we'll focus on the things I like to do. No, like you should be the thing that you find that you're passionate about. That's your plan A. That's what you want to do in life. So pursue it. And if it doesn't work out, it's always good to have, in Million's case, a criminal justice degree to fall on. My case of business management. Yours is social work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we have something to fall back on, but at the end of the day, like J. Cole has a degree, Earth Gang, both of their members graduated from Hampton University.
Facts.
So I think Lil Wayne even has a college degree.
He might, honestly. I know Lil Wayne.
He went to school.
Yeah,
he went to school.
Very intelligent.
So even 2 Chainz, hell, I think he had a 4. I don't think he went, but like that, none of that.
Rappers. Yeah.
Like people who have these like celebrity roles, or they're rappers, they're podcasters, a lot of them have shit to fall back on. Like not everybody's like a Young Thug or a Gunna, or even in our case a Joe Rogan, where Joe Rogan just said fuck school, I'm just gonna chase being a comedian, and then fell upon podcasting later on in life. Like some people have that degree. So I feel like just because you're doing something else doesn't mean that you're not chasing your passion as well.
Yeah,
So,
nah, that's facts, bro. And honestly, I appreciate you saying that. I definitely needed to hear that.
Yeah, that's big facts. And
What
with me, something that you was just talking about, Trey, you was talking about how like you have to follow your passion.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that when I was in high school, I was probably the most scared I've ever been. Really, my whole school career, I've been the most scared. Like just trying to get to like, I was scared to join the basketball team because I was like, damn, man, maybe I'm not good enough to be on the basketball team. And I never joined. And I regretted that at one point in time. And I had a whole bunch of other things that I was like, you know what? I want to do this, but I'm kind of scared to do. And this is the one thing that not even the one thing, but like, this is something that I've done, even though I've been scared to do. And I just want to see it through, you know?
Yeah.
So it has no choice but to be a means to end to me. Cause like I don't think I've ever tried so hard on something in my life. And I'm proud of that. But of course I want more. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to start reaping the benefits of this labor. Cause nigga, we put labor in.
We work on it.
Cause nigga, we put labor in, bro. But it is kind of scary to think like, you know, maybe this hard work will never, maybe we won't get anything to show for it. You know, that's one thing that does scare me, but fuck it. Even you learn something from anything, you know? So we've learned something very valuable within this whole entire podcast experience, even if we didn't get to where we were trying to be.
Yeah.
And as long as we keep on going, we'll keep on learning. It may not get us where we want to be, but we've learned a valuable lesson somewhere in it. So I just want to keep on learning.
So to end the episode,
of us, we're going to be able to look back on this moment, and it's going to be special. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This is like I said, bro, it's weird. Like, it's still weird to this day. Like, I still don't really think of myself as a rapper. But it's like shit like this, it's all building upon it. You know what I'm saying? So it's needed, bro, for sure.
Yes, sir. No
Yes,
problem
sir.
at all.
For
All right.
sure.
I'm about to stop the recording.
All right, do that.
Go ahead.
Oh, also stay in tune for the end because we're gonna play one of Jules. I could call you Jules, right?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna play one of Jules' songs in the end, so stay in tune.
And we're gonna make sure y'all see how we found him, man. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you again, Joe, for coming through.
Nah, for sure, bro. Thank y'all boys for having me, man. For real. It was a pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir.
I do it. Smoothie. Look, hey. Just cause I'm approachable don't mean I'm feeling sociable. Just because I'm stoic doesn't mean I'm not emotional. You into playing games, but that don't mean a nigga's coachable. Cause I done shed some tears, man, I'm talking like an ocean full of this some trash shit. But that don't mean that I'm disposable. Like ain't one woman's trash, just another woman's treasure. I try to weigh my options, but you make it hard to measure. Cause truth be told, you broke the scale. Girl, I think you're dope as hell. And no, I ain't been close to jail. But if you let me cuff, I wouldn't ever wanna post a bail. Rest these niggas sleep on you, but baby, I ain't woke as hell. I'm hoping it's like spoken bread. The way you feel this verse, been dying for your love. Please don't put me in a hearse. For better or for worse, please just say that I do. I do, I do, I do.